Well, well, well. What have we here?
These people didn't need 19 kids and counting. They needed birth control and a vasectomy.
Hi, guys. How are you? Welcome back. My name is Sam. If you are new here, I am a pop culture commentary channel talking about reality TV, pop culture, and all the fun things. Now, here's the scoop. If you have not watched my last reality TV show ranking, you need to go, I think over here, somewhere around here. You need to go watch that. It was really fun. I really liked it. And you guys seem to really like it. I got a lot of views on it for like me, the tiny little girl that I am, okay? Like, subscribe, share, comment. I love comments. The more you comment, the more fun I have because I get to comment below and I love clicking the little hearts, okay? So please comment down below. What were your favorite shows? Why were they your favorite shows? Did I miss some that you guys didn't know about? Now listen, before you come in here and start judging me for my rankings, okay? No, I did not watch 90 Day Fiance, okay? I've never seen 90 Day Fiance, okay? TLC, I watched all the early stuff, okay? And then once that stuff was gone out into the wind, I stopped watching. Okay, so no, 90 Day Fiance is not on here. And I am sorry for that, okay? I apologize. Now, do I know about 90 Day Fiance? Of course I do. Do I know about the crazy unhinged ways about those relationships? Of course I do. Because me, pop culture, we're besties, okay? But did I watch it actively and was an active participant? No, I was not. No, I was not. And I don't want to do you a disservice by talking about a show that I know nothing about in like the depths and the creps of the world. Okay, I don't want to do that to you. So here's what I am going to do though. I am going to rank my favorite TLC TV shows. Now listen, the last time I ranked TV shows, it went really well, but the concept was really hard for me to edit and do. So this is going to be the best that I can version of it. Okay, so you'll still have me, you'll still have the rankings. It might just be a little bit more chopped up. Okay. Okay, because I have two kids. I don't know if you guys noticed, if you're new here, I have two kids. I don't have a life. I'm a stay-at-home working mother. So the fact that I'm even sitting down and doing this, I basically have 2 hours. Otherwise, it all goes to shit once my kids' nap's done. Okay, so here we go. So the first ranking we have, you better recognize, okay? Honey boo boo, if you know, you know, okay? You better recognize, that's my number one ranking, okay? You better recognize that this was pop culture art, okay? What we were witnessing with this particular TV show programming was a cultural reset. And I need you to understand that. Next is the hormones went into my mouth. Again, if you know, you know. Okay, I was excited. I wanted more. Was it the peak? No, but did I want more? Yeah, I did. Next is a mayonnaise scalp treatment. Again, I didn't watch 90 Day Fiance, but I know a couple things. And this is like, eh, like it was all right, but it kind of could have been better. It wasn't up to snuff. Wasn't up to standards of TLC and reality TV show programming. Okay, so it's just kind of like, kind of gave you like the ick, you know what I'm saying? One of those shows kind of gave you like the, ugh. And last is, I'm going to have to leave the room now. Okay, and that's from Trading Spaces, and we will learn more about that in a second. But Trading Spaces, okay, this is, I cannot believe that this was on television, and we need to leave it in the history books where it was. We can't come back from this, okay? So first we're going to start off with my favorite program, okay? My favorite TLC program, which I used to come home and watch every single day, which was Trading Spaces. Trading Spaces was the most ridiculous concept for a home renovation show, and why more people have not jumped on this train and tried to recreate this is mind-blowing to me. Like, people need to be doing Trading Spaces full house version, okay? So basically what the concept generally was that two couples had one room in their house that they wanted to renovate. So they had their neighbor come over and have a designer, and they had a carpenter, and they would redesign one room in their neighbor's house. Okay, now listen, they would go over and they would talk about concepts and ideas that they wanted to have. It wasn't like they were just like blind willy-nilly. No, 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 no. They had a little group think tank, and they were like, I don't want this. I hate this color. I do not want this type of design. This is not my type of aesthetic. And basically some of these designers were like, oh, you don't like the color purple? Oh, we're going to paint this entire room purple. Oh, you don't like the concept of circus? You hate clowns? Guess what I'm going to do? Make this entire room into a goddamn circus. It was psychotic, okay? Some of the rooms, okay? upside down room, bloody horror kitchen room, beach room. And I mean like sand on the floor room. Sand on the floor. Okay? Murals. Full-blown murals of the designer. Not the family, not the people that actually live in the home. The designer who helped design that room. Full-blown mural of her in their room. Okay? It was crazy. And the worst one of all, okay, so each of them got a designer, okay? And some of the designers had some cute, fun ideas. Some of the designers were psychotic and basically, like I said, were doing the opposite of what the people wanted in the house. And then you have Hildy. Oh, Hildy. Hildy, I think when she was making these rooms, took a bump outside and then came in and was like, the world is my oyster. Like, we all live in a yellow submarine, okay? Cuckoo, ka-choo, choo. Like, she was riding high on something because the rooms that she was making were wild. The funniest thing of it all is there was only one room that everybody kind of sees and talks about, and it's this woman named Pam and her husband. And the room's actually not that bad. There's actually like way worse rooms. Okay, way worse rooms. We already talked about this. A literal kitchen murder scene. I'm not joking. An upside down room. An upside down room. A room with sand on the floor that there was a concrete floor one time, and the family was like, what am I supposed to do with this? I have children. They're gonna like kill themselves on this floor. Anyway, so Pam and her husband, they specifically said, do not touch our fireplace. Do not touch our fireplace. If you touch our fireplace, I know where you live, okay? And I will find you. The designer and the neighbor said, you know what we should do? We should totally touch that fireplace. So they did. Positive is I'm pretty sure they put like a cover over it. So like it could come off and like the real thing was underneath. But they basically like completely redid the fireplace. Even though they were told not to do it. They come in and poor Pam is literally standing there like speechless. She cannot speak a word. All she keeps doing is just, okay? So then it gets to a point where she is so upset and so flabbergasted that she has to walk away. She's like, I have to walk away. Like, I can't, I have to walk away. So she goes to walk away. She forgets to take her mic pack off, goes to the other room, and you can hear her on the mic pack sobbing, weeping, just in the background. And her husband's just standing there like, nope. And of course, Paige, who's like the host of it all, is just standing there and she's just like, is there anything you like about it? And they're just like, no, there's literally nothing that we like about it. It was so awkward and so cringe. But Trading Spaces, in my opinion, you better redneckinize, okay? That's where I'm at with Trading Spaces. It's you better redneckinize. We need unhinged television. I don't want to see any of these shows anymore where it's like, oh my god, we're making our fantasy home, we're making a tiny home, oh my god, we're like redoing our room the way we want it, home renovation. No. I want unhinged home renovation, okay? I want Trixie Motel, but the house people don't know that they're getting Trixie Motel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want, okay? I want an acid trip type of home renovation show. That's what I want, okay? So that's where I am with Trading Spaces. All right, next we have Say Yes to the Dress, which again was another show that I was truly just like in love with. There were so many shows on TLC that I was like, I'm gonna have a baby and I'm gonna get married and I'm gonna be the happiest woman ever. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna be that girl. And Say Yes to the Dress was one of those shows. Okay, I loved Say Yes to the Dress. So Say Yes to the Dress was basically a super easy concept. Okay, Kleinfeld's in Manhattan. People would come to look for wedding dresses. They would bring like friends and family members and they would search for a wedding dress. And you usually every episode had like some cute, fun, like women that were coming in and getting wedding dresses. And then you had some unhinged one. Okay, where either the bride was a psycho, the friends were a psycho, a family member was a psycho, or the husband to be was a psycho. Okay, this is very heterosexual hell that we're talking about. Okay, and some of the dresses were like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. This is incredible. incredible. Other dresses you were like, you're gonna wear that? You're gonna wear that. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Randy was the host, super gay, super. We loved Randy. He was like, "Hi, how are you?" And helping all the dresses out and helping all the people out. And then you had a couple of the other girls that would come in and out, regulars that would come in and help the girls too. And sometimes you would have like the girls that were in like a back area, and then you'd have the girl that gets to be like in the middle of Kleinfeld's and like get to be everybody around. I was like, oh my god, picking dresses out, doing that. Sometimes you have like a random unconventional girl. It's like, I want a black dress, but most of the time it was like, I want a white sparkly princess moment. Like that was the whole thing. The cool part about it that I really liked was that there were celebrities, or like, I say celebrities, we're talking like D-list celebrities that came on to say yes to the dress, either as like side people or as like the actual people getting married. So like Kristen Chenoweth was on there. She was a friend of, but she came in with her friend, and then she ended up trying on a dress herself. Megan King Edmonds, before we knew who Megan King Edmonds was on that show before she got married to, you know, Doofy Doo. Ashley from Real House of the Potomac was on there before she married Michael Darby. So like very much like Housewives centric, like it's part of the cinematic universe of Real Housewives. Really, really cute show. I really like that show. I would say that that show was, the hormones went into my mouth. Like, I loved it. I enjoyed it. I tasted it. I consumed it, and I was great. Is it the best show that I've ever seen on TLC? No, it is not. Have I seen shows that I think are better than that show? Yes, I have. But it was cute, classic, simple, and it was just like a really easy, like, when I was watching it, I didn't get anxiety watching it. I just enjoyed it, which I really, really liked. Okay, next is The Detriment to Society. Okay, 19 Kids and Counting. Now listen, okay, when I first watched 19 Kids and Counting, because I have not watched the full gambit of the show. I watched like the first like couple seasons, okay, when there was like 17 kids and counting, okay, not 19, 20, 21, 700 kids and counting, okay, people going to jail kids and counting, okay. I started out with Jim Bob, is that his name? Jim Bob? Yeah, Jim Bob, Duggar, and Michelle, okay. And at the time of starting up this program, they had 17 children. 17 children. Why do you have 17 children? Why? Why have 17 children? You know, oh my God, God tells us like what to do, and he'll tell us when to stop, and we're not supposed to have children. It was crazy. It was like, okay, how are we doing this? Like, how are you not like a rich, wealthy person with 17 kids? Like that, in my brain, that's the only way you can have 17 kids is if you're rich as shit. Otherwise, like, you can't have that many children. Like, it's physically not, well, I guess it is possible, but like emotionally stable wise, my brain wants to just go and like death to them all. They literally had an industrial kitchen, okay, in their home. They had this nice, beautiful home. They had an industrial kitchen. They shared the kids shared bedrooms. Like, they had buses. They had little mini buses that they brought the kids with, everything. And it just like showed their day-to-day life and how they deal with stuff. And then like they talked about like courtship. That was the whole thing because of like religion. You know, religion is a whole part of this. Because again, you don't have 17 kids with no religion. In my opinion, it's impossible. Please tell me people with 17 children that aren't part of a cult religion. You can't name them. It doesn't exist. Because that's how it works, okay? So they had the 17 kids. We ended up watching 2 other kids get born on that show, and there was complications in that. She also had like Michelle had like miscarriages and things like that had happened too. So like she would have had more than 17 children, 19 children. That's the crazy part. Then we start seeing like the older kids get courted, like basically like the parents find people to link up with their child, and then they like court each other, and then they get married. Like they don't kiss, make out, have sex, like none of that stuff happens. It's just like, you look good, good families, okay, good. And then present day, if you know, there's been prison sentences. There's been excommunications. There has been distancing themselves. There has been books, okay? There's been some pretty bad stuff that has happened. And at this point, we just excommunicate. I'm going to give 19 Kids and Counting the mayonnaise, okay? Listen, I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to be great. And at the time, it pretty much was. But you always had a stink. There was always a stink to that show. You were just like, something's fishy. Something smells. a little bit like oil and eggs. You know what I'm saying? A little mayonnaise-y. And you're just like, I want to like you, but I know I shouldn't. And looking back now, I know why. I know exactly why. Next show is My Strange Addiction. Now, My Strange Addiction was so interesting to me because it's just like, I've always been fascinated by people that do things that I would never do. Okay? I would never be a murderer. I would never be in a cult. I would never be addicted to latex, you know? I would never be addicted to eating a couch. But other people are. And I was like, okay, this show's interesting. We had people eating couches, like I said. We have marrying dolls. We have a latex edition. We have a tanning. Cut to Trisha Paytas was actually on My Strange Addiction. She was addicted to tanning. Dating My Car. That was another thing. Nathaniel and Chase. That's the name of the car. Chase. Haha, get it? Chase, like chasing a fast car. I don't know. Anyway, but Nathaniel was addicted to a car. We had people that were addicted to balloons. We had people that were addicted to like balloon animals. Okay, we had people that were addicted to like drinking bad things like car oil fluid or something like that. Addicted to, what was it? The other one. Addicted to drinking like stuff like Clorox, like cleaning supplies and things like that. Funny enough, when I was pregnant with my first son, I was talking about like cravings and addictions and things like that. And my midwife at the time told me that she had a woman that was pregnant that one of her cravings was Clorox. She like craved it. Obviously, she didn't do anything about that craving, but that was something that she craved. Every time she would smell it, she would want to drink it. And they were like, you can't do that. So My Strange Addiction was kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And the eating the cat, like some of them, I'm like, I completely understand where you're coming from. I'm like, I could see being addicted to these things because you have just like an emotional attachment to stuff. Like you have these big, deep feelings for something, or like something's missing in your life. And so like you use that as like a void in your life. So I understand like the psychological part. The part where I'm just sitting down watching TV and instead of eating a thing of popcorn, I'm eating my couch. That's where they lose me. Okay? When I want to stick my wee-wee into certain holes of my vehicle or a plastic doll, that's where they lose me. That's where I like have fully gone off. We've just kind of gone off the rails and I don't get it anymore. Then I'm kind of like, I'm done. I'm done. But that show, I don't know. I'm going to give that one, we're going to give it a mayonnaise. Okay, we're going to give it a mayonnaise because you know what? It's just, it's kind of icky. I get it. And the psychologicalness of it all, I'm kind of like, okay, go see a therapist, get some help that you need because clearly it's not about the addiction. It's about something else that's going on, deeper and darker. So we're going to give it mayonnaise, okay? Next is A Baby Story, okay? I don't know how many of you guys watch this show, but I used to love this show. Again, this is where like heterosexual hell comes in, okay? I loved A Baby Story. It was a wonderful show. Super cute. So basically like super easy concept. Like they follow these couples before they have the baby, when they're having the baby, and after they have the baby. Very simple, super cute. You know, oh my God, are you nervous about this? What do you think's gonna happen? Oh my God, we're scheduled for this, we're gonna have that. So like very early on, like honestly, instead of showing like scary images of birth to teenagers, pop on A Baby Story, okay? And talk to them about it through that. And be like, listen, here's the cute side of it, and here's the dark side of it, okay? But here's a little bit of both, so you guys can kind of understand what's going on instead of us pointing a video at a woman's vagine, watching a brick explode out of it. You know, maybe just kind of like ease them into it, okay? But it was a really, really cute show, and I really, really liked it. And they just had their babies, and then they talked after about like, oh, their babies, and like, how is it being pregnant from having your baby? How are you feeling postpartum? And then I'm gonna give it because, you know, how do we make babies? The hormones go into your mouth. Well, actually, they don't go into your mouth. That's actually a myth. You can't get pregnant from, you know, hormones in your mouth. But I'm going to give it hormones in your mouth because it just made me happy. It gave me all the good feelings in life, and I really, really appreciated that show at the time. And it gave me a little bit of heads up of understanding things about babies, which is, you know, smart when you're a teenager/college student. All right, next is one of my favorite shows, and I only watched the first season, okay? But it was a really favorite show of mine. I really, really loved this show, Breaking Amish. Okay, Breaking Amish was a show about 4 Amish people and 1 Mennonite person. And basically what it was is, if you ever heard of Rumspringa, I think it's, okay, I could be totally wrong about this, but I think the gist of Rumspringa in that, is it religion? is that at a certain age, I think it's 16, the children in the Amish religion, Mennonites, they get the option to leave and be gone for a certain amount of time and live out in like the normal world with normal people. And then basically they decide if they want to stay in that world and live amongst the normal people, or they like to come back and forever join being Amish, a Mennonite, all that stuff. Well, this apparently was the ages range from 20 to 32, and it's two guys, and I think it's two guys and three girls. Yeah, two guys and three girls. And it was Abe, Jeremiah, Kate, Rebecca, and Sabrina. And they all went to New York City, and they basically were gonna live out their normal life, like live out a normal life and see how they felt about things. Now, of course, messiness ensued. Okay, so we have Abe and I think it's Sabrina, or Abe and Rebecca got engaged and married. Is that who it was? They got married. That was a whole thing. I'm pretty sure at one point somebody got a brand new set of teeth, or they talked about having false teeth. I remember, why do I remember false teeth for some reason? I remember false teeth. Okay, so that was really interesting. They went to like strip clubs. They tried to be like models. It was a whole thing. There was breakups, there was makeups. There was trying to find, like, one of the girls, she was adopted, and so she was trying to find out her actual like heritage and like where she came from and stuff like that. So there was just a lot of depth going on, and it was interesting because, like, I guess they made it out to seem like these people had never been out in the real world before, but that's actually not true. They actually came out later that they actually have, I think all of them have been out into the real world and done real world things. One of them got a DUI in Florida. Like, so this wasn't like they've never been out in the real world and then all of a sudden they got thrown in. It's like, no, they've had like little ebbs and flows, I guess, through it. But it was a very interesting show, and I really wish that they would do more of this type of show. I wish that they would do it with like maybe other cults or other religions and see what it's like going from that religion or cult into the real world and being with normal people that don't have any association with things like that. I think it'd be really cool to have just different versions of that show. I really liked it. And I think it's a you better redneckinize. Okay, I love that show. It was one of my favorite shows to watch. I found it really interesting, really compelling, and I think that they should go try to do that show again, but with a different, like I said, either a cult or a different religion, and watching people change out of those cults or religions and what that is like. I think that'd be really compelling. TLC, 25%, please. All right. Long Island Medium. Okay, Long Island Medium was not a show again that I watched a lot of, but I've always watched bits and clips and shows and episodes. Like, it's one of those shows that was always on like reruns on TLC, you know what I'm saying? Back when like there wasn't streaming shit. It was just like you chose what was on, you got what you get, you didn't throw a fit. And Long Island Medium was one of those shows. Now, Long Island Medium, I go back and forth on. So the show is about Theresa Caputo. She's a medium. She would go out into the world and live her life, and then throughout living her life, she would come across people in the grocery store, at the laundromat, I don't know, wherever, and would be like, did your mother die? Did your father die? Did your dog die? Somebody died. And then she would kind of like talk to them like next to like the cereal, okay? But then she also had like clients or people that like requested to have a reading from her. So you kind of got like a mixed bag of, and some people she knew too. Some people like she had like actual relationships with. Like, I was just watching one today where she had this couple that she did a reading for every Christmas. Every Christmas she would do a reading for them about their little son that had passed away a while ago. And she'd been doing this for years, okay? So here's the thing. I go back and forth when it comes to certain types of people that are trying to tell me that my dead ones are coming up to me, okay? I have experienced tarot card readers. Those ones are my favorite because it kind of is one of those things where it's like, if you know tarot enough, like just the base on a tarot, you can kind of immediately kind of like sketch out if someone's like full of shit, you know what I'm saying? Because like the proof is in the card. It's like right there. It's like, this is the card. There's only one way to interpret this reading from this card. You can only, you know what I'm saying? And then I really like going to people that know nothing about me, have never met me before in a day in my life, okay? That like a walk-in basically, where I'm just like, you don't know my last name, you can't find me on the internet, you don't know anything about me, and I just go. So that way they don't have any preconceived notion of who you are. They can't do any research about you. They can't go on social media. Like they just kind of like they're there and they know. And so sometimes when it comes to Teresa, I've seen some readings of hers where I'm like, if this is real, she is the one. Like she has been touched by an angel. And then there's other ones where I'm like, I could have predicted that. Like I could have said that to her. Like everybody has somebody that dies. Everybody has a mom or a dad or a parent or an uncle. Everybody's been touched by cancer. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just some things where I'm like, is that random or did you just kind of know that already? And then when she talks to people that she already knows, that's when I'm just like, okay, cut the cameras dead ass. You know this person. You're fully aware of who this human being is. So you're trying to tell me that like you just randomly knew these random things about them? I don't think so. They probably talked to you about them. You know what I'm saying? The other thing that I wish she had more of, and I know this probably wouldn't necessarily be something that people would want to give up, but sometimes I do kind of wish that she did show like readings that were maybe like not as not as not as fluffy and not as sweet and kind and loving. Like I wish sometimes she would show readings that maybe were sadder or more upsetting or maybe maybe more disappointing or dark and scary and creepy. Like I kind of wish like every single reading basically ends with like they love you, they're thinking about you, they see you every day and they're always with you. Like it kind of be nice to like see something a little darker, a little deeper, but maybe that's just because I'm a dark person, I'm whacked in the head. So maybe that's just me. Okay. But that's just something that I would have liked to see. I would have loved to just see a little bit of a different version. Now, there's always controversy around mediums. There's been controversy around her. I'm pretty sure she just recently divorced her husband, like the last couple of years. So there's all that. Her husband with the mustache and the little thing right here. And Theresa and her hair and the accents, like, there's ghosts in her hair. I'm convinced. And the funny thing is like this area always got bigger, and then this part got longer. God, it was so creepy. She was recently on Drew Barrymore, and I watched a clip of her on Drew Barrymore, and she was in the hallway with 3 producers talking to them and giving them readings, and that was one of the ones where I was like, oh, she's legit. Like she is legit. Then there, like I said, there's other ones where I'm like, I don't know if you actually did that right. I think I could have done better than you. So again, I just kind of go back and forth with her. But overall, I like the concept. I think she's great. I'm going to say hormones in the mouth. Okay, I'm going to give her hormones in the mouth. I feel like that's very nice of me. Next, we have sister wives. Now, this is a cultural reset. Okay, Sister Wives is a cultural reset. Now, here's the thing. I think maybe I've seen one season of Sister Wives, but you better flip and believe that I follow every Sister Wives things on the internet, so I don't have to necessarily watch the show. I just get the tidbits, and I'm always in the know. I'm always in the know. Okay, always. Concept: Cody, demon person. Okay, he is married to Mary, Christine, and Janelle. Okay, that's where that starts out. He is legally married to Mary, but he is not legally married to Christine and Janelle. Okay? So this is where all like the polygamy centric content media came out. There was a show on HBO that was like a drama that was same concept, same idea, multiple houses, husband goes back and forth with the wives, that whole thing. It was like a whole thing. Okay? So here's this reality show where they're talking about polygamy and having multiple wives. And oh my God, it's so amazing. How does that work? And then he has children with all of them. Okay, he has one child with Mary. Apparently, I think if I remember correctly, Mary had a hard time getting pregnant and having a baby. So they only had one child. Then you have Christine and Janelle, and they've had multiple children. So they each have multiple children with Cody. So a couple seasons go on, and it's the 3 of them and him, and it's like, oh, how do you how do you have SCX and how does that work? And like, how do you spend time with each one of them? And how do you make sure that you're the best husband ever? And this man thinks the sun shines out of his butt. He thinks God came down and touched him and was like, you are the almighty man. You are the Mecca to everything. And it's like, you're a demon person. That hair, demon. Okay. Then enters one season. All of a sudden, Cody starts to court this woman named Robin. And it's like, you already have 3. You need another one? Like, what the hell? and Robin sneaks in. Now listen, we've all had our eyes on Robin. Okay, in my opinion, Robin wanted the bond of the sister wives, and she wanted to have like besties, best friends, help raise kids together, boo, 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 boo. But she didn't want to raise the kids. She didn't want to do all the house stuff. She didn't want to be that. She just wanted to have besties, and then she wanted to have a husband that she loved, and that was it. She didn't just want to be the only one married to Cody. She wanted to be married to Cody, but then she also wanted to have someone else to watch her kids and play with them and hang out with them. And she got to be like this cute little housewife living a fantasy. Like she was living a fantasy in her brain. Okay, cut to, she gets pregnant with Cody's baby. Okay, so now they're pregnant. They're having a baby. Okay, and as time goes on and time goes on, we see the cracks. Okay, this show's been on for like forever. I don't even know how many seasons this is. How many seasons is this? It's been on since 2010, you guys. Like, that's a long time. That is a long time, okay? They've been on for what? That's, what, 2010? They've been on for 13 years? 14 years? Yeah, 14. Why is that math so hard for me? I don't really know. But they've been on for 14 years. That's crazy, okay? Like, there were children on that show that are now full-blown adults, okay? They went from being little kids to being adults. Crazy, okay? So Robin gets pregnant, has the baby, blah, 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 blah. As time goes on, again, like I said, cracks. And then it starts getting real dark, okay? We get to a catfishing storyline with Mary. Mary and this catfishing situation that happened. Borderline, is Mary a lesbian? We've, like, crazy stuff. And then eventually they just, one after the other, just starts leaving, and they're like, I can't do this anymore. They buy new houses. They move to, don't they move to like Vegas or something? It's like, it's the most insane story ever. And all we really realize from the end of it as of current day is that Janelle and Christine are icons and the most incredible women ever. Mary basically tried her damnedest to hold on as long as humanly possible, and it was like, girl, read the room. He doesn't love you. He's just not that into you, okay? He's just not that into you, all right? Finally, she, like, grasped onto the reality and realized what the hell was happening. And then Robin was all alone. And, Robin was sitting there being like, I did not sign up for this. I signed up to have people take care of my children and me to be able to have a husband and besties. That's what I wanted. What the flip is going on? Please don't leave me here all by myself. I can't do this. So now she's all alone. She's stuck with Cody, who's a demon, who abandoned his children during COVID. He's just a bad person. He's not a good dad. He's not a good husband. He's not a good person. If you don't like that, we can duke it out. I don't know what to tell you. But he is a demon straight from the pits of hell. And let me tell you right now, you better recognize, okay? Sister Wives is you better recognize. This is like, I know so many people in my life that don't watch Sister Wives, but know what Sister Wives is. Like, everybody knows. If you're over the age, I'm going to go, if you're over the age of 30, you know what Sister Wives is. Everybody knows. You might not know all the gritty details, but you sure as hell know what that show is. And that's a cultural reset to me, okay? This show is a dime a dozen. It's really, really good. Like I said, I've weaved in and out of it. I'm always staying up to date on it. And it's just, I'm just so happy all these women were like, bye, loser. And they all left. Remarried, living in their own houses, living their own best lives. And there's Robin being like, I'm stuck with Curly Q over here. Lucky me, okay? And all these kids, most of them are, I think, are all grown up now. Like, there's a handful of them that are still under the age of 18, but most of them are like all grown up and living their own lives and doing their own thing and have their own kids and are married and all this stuff. So like, it's just, the story just got worse and worse and worse and worse and crazier and crazier and crazier. And again, complete cultural reset. This show is, it's incredible. So I highly recommend, if you have not watched it or have not followed along with it, I highly recommend doing it. All right, you guys. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know that it was a short video, okay? And I didn't watch a lot of TLC TV shows, but I had to show you a couple that I loved and watched and that, I thought were great and wonderful, that shaped my life forever. You know what I'm saying? So those are my favorite TLC shows. That's how I ranked them. And I hope you really enjoyed that. I love you. I appreciate you. Please go watch my other videos. Please like, subscribe, join our little group. I really appreciate that. Share the videos. Comment down below what you liked about this video, what was your favorite TLC show, and also anything that you want me to do for future videos. I'm love getting ideas. This was an idea from someone that commented, so I appreciate that. Okay, I have my podcast, my Big Sisters podcast, where I give advice to people. If you'd like to submit a question for advice, you can go email me at mybigsisterspodcast@yahoo.com. The link will be down below. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all this stuff. And I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.